Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Perpetual here. If you're new, you are warmly welcome. And guys, thank you so much for joining me today as I meal prep for the week. So today we are starting with, it's actually a long list, but let's start with fried rice. So I'm cooking my rice, and I always like to add my soy sauce while I'm cooking my rice just so that I don't have to struggle with mixing it all together. And I had a little bit of chicken stock. What I like to do is cook it down, so I added a bit of that into the rice as well. And now I have my boneless chicken thighs that I am seasoning. I typically will do a blend of white pepper, black pepper, all-purpose seasoning, ginger, garlic, scotch bonnet paste, which is what looked like the greenish paste right there. I will also typically add a little bit of seasoning cube or tablet. And I had some prawns in the freezer that my sister brought to me a while back, so I decided to work on that as well. Just cleaned it. I put the shells into a separate bowl because I'm going to be using it to make some stock later on. And for that stock, I will typically use it for noodles just for that extra kick of flavor. And for the prawns, I am seasoning it with the same ginger garlic habanero pepper paste. So I usually make a little bit, keep it on the side, and use it as and when I need it. And of course some white pepper and sometimes a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. Then I got that onto my grill pan and allowed that to cook. Alright, now back to the actual fried rice. I put about a tablespoon of oil into my wok and added my chicken, and I cooked it on high heat until it was nice and brown, and then I lowered the heat and allowed it to cook. Now for the prawns, I added a bit of bell peppers, and then I eventually turned it into a little sauce. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do at that point, but it worked out. Back to the fried rice. Well, we're now starting it. Some butter, onions, and then our eggs. And I'm going to just scramble this and set it aside as well. One thing with meal prep, when you have so many things going on, it looks like a lot of chaos. But if you organize yourself really well, it can work seamlessly and you can get a lot done in a very small amount of time. Since the fried rice seems to be the focus today, I added a little bit more butter, some bell peppers, carrots. Then I went in to add my chicken back into the veggies, added my eggs, some seasoning, and then added my rice. I forgot to film, but I did put some oyster sauce in there as well. I almost always will put oyster sauce, and I also put some curry powder into the fried rice before I added the spring onion. That curry powder, just about half a teaspoon, it will make a world of difference. One of my roommates, Jennifer, taught me this, and I have not looked back since. It makes a world of a difference. So try it out, but start small and then adjust to your liking. Now that the fried rice is done, I'm gonna start portioning it out. So I was getting a plate, well, a bowl for my husband to take to work the next day, and I dished out a serving for my little sister to take to work as well. I was going to drop it off for her when I was picking the kids from school, and then I got an extra portion. I'll just stick it in the fridge and use it when we need it. For my husband's portion and my sister's portion, I ended up putting a bit of the prawns on top as well. It was nice and spicy. It was the perfect complement to the fried rice. And once I portioned that out, the leftover prawns just got dashed into another bowl. And what I did, I was making a little tasting plate for myself. I added some red chili flakes and some hot sauce, so I ended up putting some of the chili flakes onto the other rice as well. And now that we've gotten that out of the way, needed to make a bit of soup, so got that started. Once it was well underway, I ended up starting to cut my chicken because I was going to be making stew as well. So once the soup was ready, I went ahead and divided that up. In the midst of all of that, I made a little bit of pineapple and ginger juice and then moved on to making my chicken stew. I put a blend of seasoning, again, same ginger, garlic, scotch bonnet pepper, a little bit of onion, some all-purpose seasoning, some Maggi cube or any seasoning cube that you have, a little bit of salt, you can put whatever you like. I also will typically put some rosemary and some anise seeds as well. Once it cooks for about 15 to 20 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and start frying it. Because the chicken is already cooked, I fry it on high heat just so I can get it brown, and then I can set it aside and make my stew. Now, what I did here, Scotch bonnet pepper, onions, garlic, a lot of onions actually, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic. I added it to the stock that I cooked the chicken in, and then allowed that to start cooking while I was frying the chicken, just so that I can save a bit of time. And then when I was done frying the chicken, I went ahead to transfer the oil into the stew base that I had started. And then after a few minutes, I added my blended tomatoes, as you can see here. Like I mentioned earlier, just the little tricks that you can use to make cooking, well, it's still a lot of work, but you can save a little bit of time. Like the cooking of the tomatoes ahead of time if you can. For example, also like how I just did it, cooking the stock and the onion mix ahead of time. What I did here is split the stew because I wanted us to have some for lunch. So I took a little bit out and let that cook faster than the main pot, well, the bigger pot. Once I got it to my preferred doneness, I went ahead to divide it into 3. I made 2 small portions because my kids will be taking some to school. They usually eat school lunch, but they've recently decided that they do not like the stew or the food they get served on Tuesdays. So I make something for them to take, and typically it will be jollof. So I divided that up, and that was it for my meal prep for this week. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all again very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.